series. The upload schedule is every odd Wednesday. You get a workout Wednesday. My name is Gretchen Gegg, and I am so happy to see you here. Now, what makes our workouts a little bit different is that I have an expertise in body freedom, which means I'm going to be able to give you cues and things to use your body in a way that maybe you haven't before. Maybe that looks like experiencing something bigger and more expansive than you ever have before, but it can also look like um, maybe finding movement in your body that you didn't think was possible. So today we are doing a 30-minute total body stretch. So a couple things that I want to make sure that you have out. Number one is a chair, just because we're going to be more supportive than we are going for like the big balances and things like that we might in a traditional yoga class. And then also, if you could use a golf ball. You could use any sort of tiny ball that you have. So a golf ball is pretty comparable to this. Like a kid's toy ball, not a ping pong ball, not something that can be compressed. You can go bigger than this too, maybe like a lacrosse ball. But and I'll go kind of close to our camera here. This is a ball that's designed to do like self-massage with, or self-myofascial release. May have thought of it as like foam rolling. And it's got these little like nubby things all over it. You can see against the wall there. So you don't have to have this ball, but something similar will help. We are going to use this to do a little bit of release in our muscles. So we are going to start actually sitting in the chair. Is that nice? So find something to sit on, and let's get this stretch started. So we do want to make sure that we're warm. So if it is first thing in the morning, pause this, go for like a quick 5-minute, 10-minute walk, and then come back and stretch. We don't want to stretch super cold, but I do want to use our time together as purely stretching. So we're going to skip those warm-ups and let you do that on your own. Golf ball. We're going to take our leg, and we're going to just immediately cross it over here. Now, if you can't get that high up, it's okay to go down here. Just know that it might be harder to reach with the golf ball. So we're going to start by crossing our leg up and across. Take this golf ball, and we're going to rub from heel, little circles, all the way up to the top of our, like the ball of our foot. So just little circles. The reason that we're using this little ball in a video that's titled Stretch, you're probably like, this isn't stretching. Well, we have this connective tissue in our body called fascia that runs through our body. And while doing foam rolling and self-myofascial release techniques isn't exactly stretching, it's releasing that connective tissue, and it allows us to get a more effective stretch. Really good for the body and something we can do without warming up. So after we've done a little bit of rotation, or a little bit of, well, if it's rotating, a little bit of circles there, then I want you to take it in your hand and just compress each toe individually, kind of pull back a little bit. So we're getting a little stretch for the bottom of the foot. Good. This is going to help prevent things like plantar fasciitis. If you already have it, then it's good for plantar fasciitis. If you have plantar fasciitis, leave a comment, because I'm debating doing a video completely for plantar fasciitis. I have lots of tips and techniques. Good. Next place we go with the ball, we're going to just press right into our lower leg, all the way up to our calf and back down. Lower leg to our calf and back down. Just a few times. And then right on our calf a couple times. Good. We did it. You may have found a couple places where you're like, ooh, that was a lot. It's okay. So now let's focus on the stretch itself. I'm going to hold this in my hand. If you have something close by to set it on, you can. I'm going to take my bottom back a little bit, lift up, and I might even move the adipose tissue, lift up out of my seat here and hinge forward just slightly. So I'm feeling a stretch here deep in this part of my hip for that piriformis muscle. Sometimes if you have sciatica, this can be a problematic area for you. So stretching this helps open that up. Breathing. Stretching in general, taking time to stretch in our body, really is kind of the secret to youth, staying strong, right? Our next Workout Wednesday video in 2 weeks is going to be about the lower back. So our focus this month is really about um, keeping our body young, doing the things that are going to help us move more freely and stay active for a long time. Big inhale. As you're ready now, I want you to let yourself round a little bit and come down even lower. So you're starting to feel a release maybe in the lower back as well. So you're rounding a little bit. Breathing and relaxing. Rolling up. Now let's take this leg that's crossed over and we're just going to extend it in front of ourselves. So we're going to have to go to the edge of the chair a little bit and extend the leg. Make sure I'm here on camera. Taking ourselves forward with the toe pulled back toward us to start. If you want, you can reach down and grab the toe, but there's nothing special about touching your toe, so you can keep it there too. You don't have to grab it. It's all these things we've told ourselves for years and years, like touching our toes is the most important part of stretching. And that's not necessarily the truth. It's an option in a lot of our positions that we get into, but it's not the end all be all. And now let the toe relax and you can lean a little bit further forward. Now, really, we're trying to avoid this look. Do you see how I've released my shoulder blades and I've rounded in my upper back? So squeeze the shoulder blades together, push the chest forward. If you round a little bit about halfway down, that's not as bad. But we're going to avoid that upper back rounding today. It does a lot of it. It does enough of it. So press the chest forward. Good. And then while that hip's a little bit lifted, take this ball. We're going to sit right on that ball on that side. So you're going to kind of lean just a little bit and you can roll around. You can find, kind of lift and move it, finding the spot where it really, really speaks to you. Usually it's right down in that hip socket where we're working on the piriformis. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And release. Good. Okay, same thing. Other leg. You've done it once. You do it again. Crossing it over. First place we're going is to wake up the bottom of the foot. So doing those rolls up to from the heel to the ball of the foot and back down. Good. And it doesn't have to be super, super heavy. Now, what you can do with this ball, and what we'll do in a moment when we stand up, you can do all this stuff standing on it. It's just, it's harder to get this kind of full body, kind of fast movement through it standing. I'll show you how I like to use it standing, but you can do that. Take it in your hand, squeeze it between you and your toe. Each toe kind of pull back and stretch. Let's switch hands. I don't know why I'm having my left hand. Maybe it's probably good for me to work through my non-dominant hand on that one. Squeeze and pull. Good, good. Okay, now going up to the Achilles. So from the heel, that really tight area, that tendon, rolling all the way up to the calf and back down. Now this area, it's usually pretty tender. It doesn't take a ton of work through, but it's probably one of the more important areas to work through is the Achilles. We've got a ton of connective tissue down here in the bottom of our leg, and walking around, if you're walking around doing those kinds of things, that is what we do. We work through the most. We use this the most. We rely on it for all of our movement. Taking this up to our calf, kind of same thing. This side's a lot sore. Interesting. I wonder what I'm doing differently on this side than that side. I don't know. All right. Now, just like last time, slide your bottom back a little bit if you need to. Lift up. We can move some of that adipose tissue out of the way if we need to. And we're going to lean forward, hinging, getting a stretch through the front of our leg. Now, I do like to flex my foot a little bit versus just kind of letting it hang out. The reason is my ankle likes to spin around all different directions. That's how that joint is created. It's kind of a cool joint. Our hip likes to do any direction as well. It's a ball and socket joint. Now our knee though is not. It is a hinge joint, meaning it likes to go here to here, to here to here. It doesn't like to get moved out of place. So if I flex my foot and I stabilize this joint, it's going to help stabilize my knee and not do anything funky to my knee sitting here for a little bit of an extended amount of time. When you're ready, let yourself fall down just a little bit. Now let your lower back round maybe, but not your upper back, right? Press through, chest first, squeezing back behind you. And if you're not used to doing this, you might start to feel a little fatigue in the upper back. Those muscles that are squeezing our shoulder blades together might start to feel tired. So this, even though this is a stretching workout, going into that little bit of strength is not a bad thing. We want the back to be strong, especially those upper back muscles that need to be able to hold our chest proud and hold on to our posture when we stand up. 30 minutes goes by fast when I do stretching. It really does, because we want to hold these muscles for so much longer to turn that stretch reflex off. Okay, sitting up. So same thing we did before. I'm angling out just so you can see my full leg. Out and toe is up, hinging forward. Again, you can reach for the toe. This is up to you, but we're focusing on that nice flat back. So that's not the most important thing. Just feeling, and it's a little difference between a flexed foot and a pointed foot. And then let that toe point and let yourself sink a little deeper. Good, roll it up, take it. You're gonna sit on it just a little bit, kind of open up into that hip, a little sideways motion. Ooh, man, found something on this side. Nice. Okay, we're gonna work through one of my favorite stretches in the whole world. Let's set this ball to the side if you're like me, kind of holding on. We've got a minute. This is called the VWLT stretch. It is a stretch. It's kind of, my ball's got a life of its own. It's rolling away. This is a stretch that is recommended to do whenever you think about it. And it's helping getting our ears in line with our shoulders, getting rid of forward neck posture, which can start to put some strain on our neck and kind of creates that hunchback look that we're trying to avoid. So the first thing that you do, letting your shoulder blades kind of drop your chin. You don't want to look up during this exercise. You want to have it drop a little bit and pull your head back. So think about creating kind of maximum double chin here. You're like, why would I do that? Because it's good for your neck and you're not taking any pictures right now. Chill, you got it. Drop your chin, pull your head back. Lift up your arms, keep that pull back, and you're making a V. It's a little side view here, right? I drop my chin, I pull my head back. So you can see how my ears should be lined up over my shoulders. I'm really hoping that they are, because I can't see that. And then I'm going to keep that line up and make a V with my hands. And this is just about lining up the ears and shoulders and pulling the shoulder blades down. It's not about pulling the hands back at this point. It's just about strengthening that upper back. To make the W, we pull the elbows down and start to pull the shoulder blades down as well, keeping the head back. Notice how you feel openness, maybe a little tightness. I feel tightness in that area at the top of your shoulder blades, almost into the trapezius muscles, or I can even feel it in some of my neck muscles, and that's okay. That's good. We want to release that. Now, thumbs up, taking this to an L. Now we start to pull our hands back. Don't let our head jut forward. That is the temptation. Pull your head and your hands back at the same time. Opening the front of our body, our neck, all that good stuff. And then T. Thumbs to the ceiling, pull the arms back. Keep the head going back. And then I always like to add this piece. Turn the thumbs down and reach back a little more so you're stretching through your biceps as well. This is like a full neck and chest release. Good. Now we're going to take these arms, wrap them forward, and swim them. Notice which hand is on top. So I've got my right hand over the top, pushing into my left palm, letting my head round forward. Good. And then we're going to take that same hand and we're just going to reach back for our shoulder blade. Now, if you want to add a little more pushing forward from the front here, you can. You can grab your elbow and pull back, kind of like we've done for years and years and years. I'm always cautious of joints. I don't know what you have going on. So to keep us all safe, I'm going to recommend we push right below the joint here and get a little extra. Or option number 2 is to come up under and try to meet the hand. Now, I don't know about you, but finding my hand is hard. My shoulders are a place where I'm always going to be working to gain more flexibility. That's the swimmer in me. So if you want, you can grab something, drop your arm behind, and then pull a little bit with your other hand. Let me find that better. There we go. Pull a little bit with your hand and add some deeper stretch. So that's an option as well. You're probably like, okay, while you're doing that, I've had enough of this stretch. Release. And now we're going to swim, but the opposite hand winds up on top. So I'm going to take my left hand over and swim forward. And then that arm that's on top comes back for a little tricep stretch, or you can find the hand underneath. This is really my favorite. Even if you're not touching hands, you don't even have to use that strap. So if you see here, I'm just touching like mid back, and that's okay too. Not gonna lie, I've got my new short shorts on, and when I turn around, I get a little bit concerned. Isn't it funny? It's the downfall of filming all this release. Even though I know that I'm bringing good things to people, it's hard sometimes as the person doing it to allow your education and your expertise to stand out bigger than what shape your body might look like in a day. Isn't that interesting? The mindset around our body is so important. That's why embracing that concept of body freedom and doing what I do regardless, right? Like bringing what I bring to you regardless of how I feel, look, making my actions bigger than my feelings is important. Okay, little aside, but I thought that was important to know today. This little ball right here, we are going to take it underneath our heel and just transfer a little weight onto it and kind of hang out there for a second. Literally all I'm asking you to do, and I'm telling you, this might be the one thing that you give me pushback on because it's not easy. It's hard. And if we're dealing with a balance challenge today, let's hold on to something, back of your chair, whatever. But we're releasing the fascia in our heel. And this is what we usually feel if we're dealing with plantar fasciitis, is this heel pain. So releasing, and let's go to the other side. So I'm not going to ever tell you to push through actual pain, like physical, oh my gosh, sharp shooting, ow. But in our heel, we need to be really clear what is pain, like something's ripping and tearing and breaking, and what is pain like, oh, this is hard today, because it doesn't feel good to do this for anybody. Okay, release. Awesome. Let's do a little bit standing, then we're probably going to end up seated one more time. Okay. With our chair in mind, I'm actually going to turn it so that I have room and so that it's here in front of me. Take one leg, doesn't matter which, step it back, drop into the knee a little bit, and tuck your hip under. Did you see that little situation? So here we have in here, and then I'm going to pull my knee closer to the chair without changing anything else and lengthening in the front of my leg. This is quad stretch part 1. I'm going to offer you a part 2, but you do not have to take it. This is plenty, 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 plenty. This is releasing your quad. Now, if you want more and it's easy, you can grab the foot. If that did not happen easily for you, don't worry about it. If you're somewhere in between, you're like, oh man, I like that, grabbing the foot, but I'm doing this number a lot and I'm not quite there. You can always, here, I'll use my chair again. You can always have something else to hold on to and prop your foot up on something and bring your hips forward. So that's another option. Okay, so we really have three options. I just don't have my secondary thing to hold on to. One is reaching back, two is holding on, and three is right here in the middle. So you're releasing from your hip down to your knee. So you're finding your option. I guess you don't have to hold on to something, but my thing is if you're already like wobbling trying to grab the foot, you might want to have at least something close, right? Don't injure yourself in a stretching video. That's gonna be a hard one to explain. And release, and let's do the other side. So we're gonna reach back. We're all gonna start there. Lift the heel, tuck, bring that knee closer to whatever you're holding on to or just forward. I feel this one the most this morning, oddly. I don't know what I've been doing, but I think because I can feel it in my inner thigh a little bit. I wonder why. Next option would be to grab the foot, pull the hip forward. And then our third option would be back on that chair propped up. I guess I don't really need that facing forward. Good. Now let's have a seat again. I'm going to put up my little strap, although that's helpful for stretching. We're going to hold the ball for one more thing. Sorry. We have one more thing with the ball here. We're going to take it in one of our hands, and just like we were saying the Pledge of Allegiance, bring it to our chest. Other hand over, and you're just going to push in and make some circles. Now for me, it's might get my mic away a little bit. It's a nice and tight area. This is our chest. It's usually tight because we spend a lot of time in that rounded and hunched position. Good. Whew. And then switch sides. Cross, push, and roll. Now I'm going to let you in a little secret here. If you don't have this ball handy, this is a great stretch to do during the day. You can take your hand, tuck in the thumb, and close over. And this little knobby part of your thumb makes for a nice solid self-myofascial release tool. So you can use that whenever you want. Good. And now we're going to you can set the ball down if you want. We're going to open up one more time into that T, let the head come back, open up a little further, feel that release. Thumbs point down. And draw the arms back. Beautiful. Hands come to thighs. From here, let's rotate toward one side. So we're going to cross our hand over and holding the back or the outside of one of our legs. I don't know why I'm tripping over my words here. And we can just use the back of the chair to kind of hook our arm and pull us deeper in. Now, my chair has little, like I can hold on to one of the individual little parts of the back. I don't know what kind of chair you're in. You might be down here at the bottom, pulling yourself in. Whatever chair you're in, use it to your ability to get this twist. Gazing back behind you. And then you want to think about your spine kind of twirling up. People use the idea of like a barbershop pole or like a candy cane stripe. But from the bottom, I want you to take a big inhale, then exhale. Imagine twisting into your hips. So exhale, tightening the belly, getting a deeper twist, and then holding. Now let's think mid-back. Inhale. Exhale, pull into this so your mid-back twists a little bit more. Good. And then on the last one, inhale, exhale, our head looks back as far as it's comfortable, releasing the neck. Let the shoulders relax. The tension is in our hands. Our mouth, our face, it's not helping the twist. So relax it a little bit. Good. And then come back to center. Oh, that feels So other side. I'm scooting myself to the side a little bit so I can use the back of my chair. Crossing over and just starting our twist. Finding a place to put your hand. Finding a place that works. Don't worry about going as deep as you can just yet. Kind of just waking up the spine, telling our body, hey, this is what we're about to do. That's important. Remember, I talked about the stretch reflex. We want to give the muscles that need to work time to work, time to switch gears. You're not having to protect me right now. I'm trying to lengthen you. Inhale. And as we exhale, twist into those hips, tighten the belly. Get a little bit more of a twist here. Good. Inhale, mid back. Exhale, twist the mid back. Pull yourself a little bit more into it. Good. Last time, inhale. Exhale, twist the neck, looking behind you. I think I went to about max there. Letting everything else release. Remember, your face is not stretching. It's not helping you stretch. So you don't need to hold tension there. I'm looking completely away from my microphone. So what I was saying is that your head is not what's doing the work. So you can relax your face. Releasing, coming all the way back to the front. Beautiful. Are we still on track here? Oh, yes, perfect. We have one last stretch. So I want you to keep one hand down on your side or the chair, take the other one up and over, lengthening through the side of your body. Okay, 2 more stretches. There's one more thing I want to do. We didn't quite get into the neck the full way that I wanted to. I'm trying to think about what else we can do. I have an idea for one last final stretch. And this is just to lengthen through our side. And I love doing this seated. Yes, you can do it standing, but sometimes standing, we stick our hips the other way and we end up doing this weird, awkward bend that's not isolating lateral flexion. It's like getting our hips involved. So when we're sitting down, our hips cannot be involved. We kind of take that away. Release, and let's go the other way. Staying lifted up out of the hips so that we're getting a true lateral flexion of the spine. Y'all, our spine only moves 4 different ways. It rounds forward into that flexion. It opens backward into that extension. We've done both of those. It twists, rotation, what we just did, and then it laterally flexes, which is right here. So any good stretch routine has to incorporate all 4 of those for your spine. Coming back to center. Last, we're going to drop our ear to one side. So I'm dropping my right ear toward my right shoulder. It's okay if you're doing opposite. But that opposite hand, so for me, my left hand is going to reach out, flattening, pushing through the palm, and I'll feel the stretch all the way down. If I want, I can reach over and just add some dead weight here. I'm not pulling. I'm just releasing, and then let everything start to relax. Good, come back to center, and let's switch sides. So just start with the release over, press to the palm, bring the arm over. Oh, feel that big stretch and release. And come back to center. And that is it, friends. That's all we've got. I hope you enjoyed this stretch workout, and I hope that you will like and subscribe so that you will get notified every odd Wednesday when we upload the Workout Wednesday. Now, if you are part of our live group here, that's a special thing that we do for our elite coaching and mastermind clients, that they get to stream the live workout with us. They also get to request workout types. So, for example, this month, they wanted to focus on like strengthening and lengthening, kind of those exercises that are going to give us longevity, a long lifetime, but also staying active and moving through our life. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, feel free to visit me at gretchengegg.com and click on that Elite Coaching and Mastermind link from the menu. And hopefully I will catch you here next time for another workout. See ya.